Marco! Hi everyone, my name is Marco, and me and my friends have some questions about the topics introduced in the book English Phonetics and Phonology, a practice course by Roach. So, the group is composed by Morales Diana, González Quintero Sofía, Pitka Federico, Marco Francisco, and me, Masucci Marco. So let's get right into it. So the first question is, what possibilities have been proposed to study intonation with an attitudinal approach, and what problems are with them? Let's answer that.
One possibility would be for the analyst to invent a large number of sentences and to try saying them with different intonation patterns, noting what adjectives were supposed to correspond to different intonation in each case. Alternatively, the analyst could say these different sentences in a group of listeners who ask them all to write different adjectives.
But the members of the group would probably produce a large number of adjectives, giving the analyst the problem of resolving what meanings they all represent.
To overcome this difficulty, one could ask the member of the group to choose a small number of adjectives given by the analyst.
While the results would be much easier to quantify, they would no longer represent the listener's free choice of label.
An alternative procedure would be to ask a lot of speaker to say a list of sentences given by the analyst.
But the results of such experiments would be very variable and difficult to interpret, not least because the range of acting talent in a randomly selected group is considerable.
Finally, a much more useful and realistic approach is to study recording of different speakers' natural, spontaneous speech, and to try and make generalization about attitudes and intonation.
But the choice of material would be much less free for someone who studied natural speech. If we are ever to make new discoveries about intonation, it would be while studying what people actually say, instead of inventing new examples about what people might say.
Thank you, Francisco, for helping me out with that question. Now, we have to describe and exemplify the three distinct types of suprasegmental variables, as described on pages 188 and 187. We have Federico to talk about that.
The three types of suprasegmental values are sequential, prosodic, and paralinguistic. The sequential suprasegmental values regard the components of intonation as elements occurring in a sequence one after the other but never simultaneously. These components are the preheads, the heads, the tonic syllable, and the tails with their different pitch variations, the tone unit boundaries, and the pauses. Now, prosodic suprasegmental values are characteristics that are constantly observed at the moment of speaking. The most important characteristics of prosodic suprasegmental values are width of pitch range, key, loudness, speed, and voice quality. Now, it is important to remember that prosodic suprasegmental values vary from speaker to speaker, and as such, they should be regarded as background speaker characteristics. Paralinguistic suprasegmental features refer to facial expressions, gestures, and body language. Now, we should also include inside these features vocal effects such as sobs or laughs. It is important to remember as well that although these paralinguistic suprasegmental features are important to the act of speaking, they cannot be regarded by themselves as components of speech.
Thank you, Federico. Next question. Do you agree with the generalizations for foreign learners of English as stated on pages 188 and 189? Which are more difficult and easier to learn? Sophia?
I agree with the statement up to a point, due to the fact that I believe that intonation cannot be deduced from the context or cannot be inferred without the previous knowledge of tonality, tonicity, tones, or phonetics and phonology. I agree with the other statements that say that foreign speakers' problems do not have to do with stress, and that the best way to learn a foreign language is to listen to it and to speak with native speakers. And I believe that the easiest one is to listen to it, and that the most difficult one is to learn how intonation should be used.
Thank you, Sophia. Now, for our last question. How can you explain the concepts of stress and sentence stress in relation to intonation? To answer that, we have Diana.
Stress is a term used to refer to the accentual function of intonation, which implies that the placement of stress is something determined by this. It is also said that intonation is carried entirely by the stressed syllables of a tone unit, meaning that the placing of stress is independently of and prior to the choice of intonation. Sentence stress is the placement of tonic stress within the tone unit. The term sentence stress should be reconsidered due to the fact that the sentence is a unit of grammar while stress is related to phonology.
Thank you so much, Diana. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. We really hope you learned something, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. Bye!